The building tension between Russia and Ukraine is one of the biggest stories in the entire world right now. It's also one of the most confusing. Today, we want to help clear up why Ukraine is so important to Vladimir Putin. So WHS 11 anchor Eric King is here to help us better understand that. Eric, you're kind of an expert in all this, so let's start there. What is it about Ukraine that has the largest country in the world positioning its military?
Yeah, so military, when you mention the military, that's a really good place to start, because take a look at this. When you look at a map of Russia, obviously Russia is the largest country in the world. And so when you look at the water areas around it in the north and particularly off to the east, temperature-wise, those are mostly frozen. And so after Russia, Ukraine is the second largest country in all of Europe. It's about the size of Texas with about 10 million more people. So you might remember back in 2014 during the Winter Olympics, which were hosted in Russia, Russia invaded the area of eastern Ukraine, which is known as Crimea, which is right there on the Black Sea. Putin wants full access to the Black Sea because it increases Russia's military and defense capabilities. Now, the Black Sea is also warm water. So remember, as we just talked about geographically, most of Russia's ports are frozen.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. All of a sudden, I feel a lot better about the situation. So what about the political motivations? So many reports say that Russia feels entitled to Ukraine. So why is that?
Yeah, that goes back a long time. Remember, Ukraine is actually older than Russia. And during the time of the Soviet Union, Ukraine was a big part of its core, both geographically and culturally. So when the Soviet Union fell, the Russian economy fell with it. So Vladimir Putin has talked openly about having to moonlight as a taxi cab driver during that time because economically it was so bad. He actually calls the fall of the Soviet Union the greatest political or geopolitical catastrophe of the 20th century. So he sees this more as reclaiming Ukraine rather than invading it. So to him, this would be a major victory in restoring Russia to its Soviet-era strength. It's also a lot to ingest, as you all know, and there are a lot of moving parts.
Eric, thank you so much. And with so many of these moving parts, we want to keep all of you at home up to date. You can find full reports and breakdowns right now at WHAS11.com.